Hello, another week, another solar video. So once again, thanks for tuning in, watching this week's quick just recap, or I don't even want to say recap, but just a reminder, and maybe a little bit of a story. But so I was at the Home and Garden show this past weekend. If you're in San Antonio, it's at the Alamo Dome, and there were a lot of companies there that were doing solar, but in addition to a bunch of like home renovations, whether it was gutters, roofs, electrical, HVAC. I mean, just think of a home and think of the services that you could offer. So they were trying to incorporate a bunch of stuff into it, which is cool. I mean, I get the concept and everything, but here's the thing with solar and with anything else, really, especially just like large projects, is you want to be careful with the company that's saying that they can promise you the world on everything. Okay, sometimes that works depending on what it is, but in general, when it comes to contracting, if you've had experience with contracting, you want to more than likely try and get a specialist if it's a complicated job. Okay, solar isn't like overly complicated, but there are quite a few permits and certifications and the electrical work, roofing work, and things that are very specific to the solar industry. So could someone figure it out that's very handy? Absolutely, someone can figure it out. It's not impossible. However, you want to make sure that you're choosing a company that is either been around and doing all of those things for a very long time, including solar, or I would say, in my opinion, it's wiser to choose a company that just specializes in solar. Maybe they have an electrical business on the side or something like that, but it would be the solar specialist. And there are a lot of those companies out there that are available. That's something I wanted to mention that I noticed at the Home and Garden show, and I have noticed popping up lately because it's been difficult with the way the interest rates are, especially in San Antonio, for people or companies, I should say, to only do solar. So they're trying to branch out and get revenue in other ways. So that's something to consider. And then another thing is I just came from an appointment a couple of hours ago that was, they had a competitive quote, and they didn't really understand the market here. So that's another thing I mentioned in the past, is that you want to make sure that the company that you're talking to, and it was one of those companies that did a little bit of everything. So San Antonio is specific, right? North of San Antonio, you've got Pedernales Electric Co-op. Northeast, you've got GVEC, which is Guadalupe Valley Electric Co-op. And of course, you've got Austin Electric. And then outside of there, you've got these deregulated markets. I have people in Illinois, California, Massachusetts, all over the country that have bought solar from me, and each market has their own little nuances. Okay, California makes sense to go solar with a battery. Here in San Antonio, really only need a battery if you want battery backup for when the power does go down. Outside of that, there's no real advantage as far as trying to get revenue from the system. So make sure and understand how all of that works before signing up. So hope that helps, gives you a little bit more insight. I'll continue to do these videos every week, and if you want specific topics covered, please let me know. Just comment, send me a message if you're not comfortable commenting in public. I certainly don't mind. And as always, I appreciate you watching, liking, and supporting me every week. Thanks. Have a great evening.